As the new ski season and our trip to the Alberta Rockies rapidly approaches, I thought it was about time I put together a video of the ups and the downs of our trip to Quebec's eastern townships.
We're getting ready to go. Nobody. Grumpy.
Dad.
I can't really move up, buddy. I don't have enough room. I have long legs. Oh no. Look at all the traffic.
As anyone who's driven around Toronto knows, getting out of the city is absolutely miserable. But this is the beginning of our journey to the eastern townships in Quebec, where we wanted to go and do a ski trip.
Bumper to bumper traffic on the highway on the way to Bromont. Part of the hill isn't open because it rained last night. Say hi, Hunter.
Hello.
We want to ski. We want to ski, but the conditions are crappy. So we're driving through snow and we're not even going to get to ski in snow. This is just not a great winter for skiers. I was just wondering why we couldn't see anything out of the backup camera as we pulled into our hotel. Swung by our hotel, no early check-in. Now we're at Bromont. 4 of 11 chairlifts open because of the rain. There's one of them.
Although it looks quite wintry out, weather was not being cooperative for our first day in the eastern townships, so we were in standby mode.
This is a weirdly torturous situation because it's been dumping snow all morning, but because it rained last night, there's a bunch of ice at the top of the hill, and so they're not opening the lifts. So we're watching all this snow fall down and we can't go ski. It's brutal. Look at these lifts. Nobody's on them. First trip to Bromont. This winter has been just miserable. It's brutal. Could be beer o'clock already. We're hoping to get a half day in, but I don't know if it's going to happen.
Just when it seemed like all hope was lost, the ski patrol gave us the go-ahead.
It's open, by God, it's open. We've done it. We're on a chairlift. How exciting.
These runs look really good.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm glad we stuck around. Okay, look, those people are having fun. It's all right.
Although we didn't do a ton of exploring that first day, we were just happy to hit the slopes. The plan was also to return to Bromont for our final day of skiing the eastern townships.
Morning of day 2 in Bromont. We had a bit of a disappointing check-in yesterday. We got here through the blizzard and they weren't even willing to entertain an early check-in. I guess they just don't do that here, which is kind of a drag. And also on their Expedia listing, they mentioned the hot tub as a family-friendly amenity, but the kids aren't allowed in it. So they kicked us out. I was quite annoyed. Part of the reason I booked this place was because of that. So
yeah, needless to say, I was pretty annoyed by all these things. Allowing early check-ins if a room's available should just be standard procedure at hotels, I believe, but these guys didn't even think about it. I think they just don't do that. It seemed like it was one of their policies. And the no kids in the hot tub thing is such a weird policy to have in a ski town. I've never come across that before. So this hotel is fine. It's clean. The breakfast is pretty good. It's fairly cheap. But honestly, if you're going with a family and you want to have access to a hot tub, don't stay there. There are tons of other options, and there's a much better hotel that we ended up at. Today's hill is Orford.
Mont Orford.
Mont Orford. Orford. As we arrived at Orford, we were treated with some blue skies and a look at the snowy slopes. This trip might work out okay after all.
all right, made it to Orford. Is most of the hill's open, right? Is most of the hill open?
Yeah.
I think most of the hill's open, but it's busy. Is most of the hill open?
Yes, definitely. I have no idea.
She doesn't know,
Hunter?
but it looks good.
We started off with a pretty easy top to bottom green to get a feel for the hill, and then worked our way into the more challenging stuff later on.
What do you think about the lineups?
I think it's stupid.
Yeah, well, it's all ski hills on weekends. That's just how it is. But yeah, big lineup.
The lines were a bit annoying, but Orford is only an hour and 15 minutes from Montreal, so it makes sense on a weekend that this ski hill would be busy.
Here, this is the one I was looking at all day, being like, that looks pretty good. We should do that.
No, they're right there.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
It's not steeper than what we see this morning.
The conditions at Orford, likely because of the rainfall 2 nights before, were a bit marginal. Some runs were great, but others, like this one, were steep and quite slick with patches of ice along the hill. You really had to pay attention to your edges on these ones. But it was still really fun and a good day to get out. Orford was a great hill. I'd love to see it in good conditions.
Good job, guys. Pretty slick.
Our day at Orford was coming to a close, so we hit the backside for a few more runs and then packed it in for some après ski by the fires at the lodge.
It is ski day 3 in the Eastern Townships, and we're at Mount Sutton.
Of the 3 Eastern Township hills we hit, Sutton is the least developed, and honestly, I loved it.
We've signed up for a ski guide, I guess. What is it we're doing? Tell us.
A free guided tour of the mountain.
Going food
Show
trials.
us the great run that are appropriate for our ski level.
Free guided tour of the mountain. That sounds pretty fun. Okay. And it also got us to cut the lift line, which is a good deal. Great. We'll take it. Good way to start our day.
We met up with our ski guide Julie at the top of the lift. She could tell right away we were fairly experienced skiers, so she started to take us across the terrain, gradually getting more challenging as we went. It was a really good exploration of the hill and a really nice hack for skipping lineups at Mount Sutton. Although, if you go to the more challenging slopes, the lines weren't bad anyways. And here comes our ski guide provided lift line cut in. Yeah, you feel like a bit of a jerk, but also nice to cut the line if you're allowed. The terrain at Mount Sutton ended up being my favorite of all of the Eastern Townships hills. There's some really good vertical drops and tons of tree runs. The snow was also a lot more favorable this day, so it really had tons of stuff going for it as far as fairly experienced skiers are concerned. It was a great day. I would definitely go back to Mount Sutton.
A little bit icy, but pretty fun. Nice and open and not too many people. It's good. I like it. And Mount Sutton's another win. I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy with these Eastern Township hills. They are good.
We stopped for lunch at the Upper Lodge, and again, I just loved it. It was like walking through a time warp. The old school buildings that are unrenovated, but natural feeling with all the wood and the fireplace in the center were just great. It really does add to the charm of this ski hill. The outside part of the Upper Lodge features some amazing panoramic views, perfect for your photo opportunities. In a sure sign that I was starting to run out of steam,
Whoa!
I bit it.
Whoa!
The kids were as surprised as I was. I was quickly back to my feet and ripped a few more runs before packing it in for the day. Overall, even with the wipeout, fantastic day at Mount Sutton.
Last run of the day coming up. We like Sutton. Sutton more than Orford?
Yeah.
Sutton over Orford.
Yeah.
That's our verdict. And Orford we like, so there you go. Pretty good. Good day.
It was time for an après-ski at the base lodge. Cold beer before heading back to Bromont to switch hotels. We headed back to the Chateau Bromont at the base of Bromont Mountain. It was a much more family-friendly hotel with a wine vending machine in the lobby, an indoor pool, and several rooftop hot tubs. The amenities of this place are far superior to anything else in the area, so it's really the place to stay at.
Outdoor pool too. Cool. Didn't know that. That's summertime stuff. Well, there are four. There's four.
The next morning, we were up early for a delicious, if slightly overpriced, buffet breakfast from one of the restaurants at Chateau Bromont. It was delicious, and it was nice to have that amenity right in-house. Then, it was time to go and hit the slopes.
Last day of skiing, guys, for our ski trip.
Might be a luge track or a waterfall.
And it's warm. It's warmed up considerably. We're back in Bromont, and it's much quieter, which is great.
The warmer weather brought with it much softer snow conditions, almost slush. But in my Fat Faction Dictator skis, I actually really like skiing in slush. It's pretty fun.
Three runs deep in our morning at Bromont, and it's very fun. It's slushy. Way better than the chunks of ice we were dealing with at Sutton yesterday. Here we go.
I'm the smart one here.
Proper snow coming in.
I have mine on too.
We were told this was supposed to be
mine's a whole
rain,
face
so
then.
wow.
Yeah.
Above my head and my neck.
A little bit damp. Break time. I found that Bromont was almost the polar opposite of Mount Sutton. Everything has been revamped from top to bottom on this hill. All the lodges seem new, and the amenities are nice and clean. It's a really nice ski resort, but it does have that sort of commercial feel to it. And part of the reason I like Mount Sutton so much is it felt sort of less developed.
Legitimate mountain experience in the gondola.
We stand up and whistle, gondola.
Hashtag
That's a big one.
Bromont experience. Things got interesting towards the end when my son decided he was going to head into the terrain park. There he is in the blurred out section of the camera, right there. Watch when he enters the park.
Oh! Oh! Where'd he go? I don't think he was supposed to do that. That's not the right way, buddy.
Despite dropping a ski and having a little laugh, he ended up being fine. The best thing about our time at Bromont on this particular day was the fact that there were no lineups anywhere. It was fantastic. And part of that, of course, is that it was a Monday.
There's hardly anybody here. Look at all these empty chairlifts. So yeah, this day alone was worth coming out to Quebec for, but it's been nice. The ski hills are good. I think we prefer the terrain on Sutton a little more, but Bromont has been pretty fun. Fun to be able to have the option to go to several different hills within a half an hour drive. It's pretty sweet. So definitely Eastern Townships, definitely worth it. Good times. Reasonable trip from Toronto.
For our afternoon break and snack and final rest for the day, we went to the chalet at the top of the mountain, the Summit Chalet. This is another very new feeling building at Bromont, and it has a restaurant, a bar, and wonderful views of the ski hill and valley below.
Yeah?
Fatigue was starting to set in, but we tried to squeeze in a few more frontside runs before hitting the road.
We might be on our last run of the day, possibly the last run of the day, because we've lost two of our party. They're sitting right over there at the fire. I can see Mom's fluorescent pink pants. There we go. They saw us. Now they're mad because we we didn't stop after that one. Okay, last one. Ready?
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
My daughter and I decided to hit up the beginner chair for our last run of the hill and take a run through the terrain park.
Monkey park, like you guys did at the zoo. That's way more hardcore than the zoo one, though. That's awesome.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
That's it. Last run of the day. Hit some features in the park. Everybody into one last run. We're going again. Never quit. Never quit. Never give up. Last one. This time for real. Helmet cams a go. Not impressed to being forced to go again. She's ready. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong. They're ready. One last run.
Dad, can we do a night ski? Sure. Sure.
The discussion did open up about a night ski, but we decided that everybody was pretty tired from a few days of skiing and that we'd have to hit the road early in the morning. So this should really be our last run in the Eastern Townships.
Last run. Last run. Tired legs. Really tired legs.
We used the magical Chateau Bromont shuttle phone and got picked up to head back to our hotel to enjoy a few more of the amenities that Chateau Bromont has to offer, especially that wine vending machine. Then we'd finally hit the road and head back to Toronto. Overall, the trip was a success and definitely one of the best options for skiing within a day's drive from Toronto. Thanks for watching. Next trip, we're headed to the Alberta Rockies, so be sure to come back and check out that one.